I've been dreading this video a little bit, not going to lie, but it's finally time for me to talk about all the bad changes that came with the update. There's surprising amount of them actually. The more I was looking into it, the more negative things I saw. But again, I'll be going over all of them. So no point in prolonging this intro. So the first thing on our list will be the challenge shop. As you can see, challenge shop no longer exists. It no longer exists here. Instead, we have Planet Mall unit data from the challenge shop, which I can't see anyone buying it before. Sure, over time you could probably buy them because, you know, it's free currency you're getting on daily basis, so eventually the shop would have been cleared and the only worthy things of buying would be this, right? So sure, but now with task planet points, no shot anyone is buying this. You're saving it for operators most likely, so maybe even dupes, since dupe system is a thing now. So but you're definitely not buying any of this. None of those units are good, and yeah, I just, I don't know, like, to me this makes 0 sense. Absolutely 0 sense. So again, unit data, you cannot get it for free anymore. And also the shop has been moved here. The gold bullet shop, right? But the problem with this is you have to actually clear dive 50 in order to start getting bullets. And dive is pretty hard right now. It's definitely harder than it used to be. So you have a harder content to do in order to unlock the shop. Before, again, challenge stages, sure, some of them were hard, but first of all, you could get daily income of the challenge points even if you didn't clear any of the later stages. As long as you cleared one of them, you can just sweep it and you get the same rewards for every single stage. So it doesn't matter how far you've been into it, you could have just swept it, and every day you would have gotten currency. And then the starting missions, I would say, like Act 1 and Act 2 were pretty easy for new player to do, even Act 3. So you still got some currency for the first time clear, and you've got enough of it to buy more important pieces. Unfortunately, now it's locked behind bullets, and there's nothing you can do as a new player. There's no way you're clearing dive 50 anytime soon, so none of those rewards you can get anymore. Which sucks, because 2 mace cases and 2 mace crowns are right here. And mace cases are probably like the most important piece of equipment, because you can use them for tanks, you can use them for damage dealers. So not having access to 2 of them, especially when they were limited, that sucks. Sure, you can craft them now, but it's RNG, it costs a lot of credits, and you have to clear the relic stages so many times even to get one craft, and then it's 1 in 9th chance that you're going to get mace case. So it's not even reliable. Again, to me, very bad change. Now the next thing is there's no palace shop, as you can see. So Shadow Palace doesn't exist, at least not in the same capacity anymore, and that is horrible for literally every single player in the game, because you're no longer getting free gear. You don't get the free currency that you could buy the molds with, so you could craft some gear with it. You, most importantly, don't have access to binaries anymore. If you remember correctly, you could buy 50 gold binaries per month, and you could buy 30 blue binaries per week. And all of that was completely free. Like, you didn't have to spend any Eternium on it. As long as you clear the Shadow Palace, you've got enough currency to buy all of those things. So that's horrible. Like, that's horrible. That was a nice income of binaries, and that was nice income of gear that you could use for even experience for your other gear, and it's no longer here. You cannot get it now. So again, very bad choice. Now the next thing is Danger Close, and Danger Close shop overall is better. I will give them that. This is the old shop. Again, the same items, right? But additionally, you have this, right? Just okay, it's decent. Those things could be valuable to buy. You can, this is basically turning the tier 7 gear to +7, aka the last level you need to get the last option, right? The last latent level. So what you can do is basically +2 tier 7 gear, right? See what latent it has. If it has a good one, then you can slap this one on, get it to +7 immediately, and then see how it rolled on the last two. So pretty decent. And then binaries, gold binaries, you can buy 30 of them for 5 Danger Close points at first. When you buy them out, the price increases to 20. Since I've already bought them, I didn't buy the blue binaries yet, so as you can see, 5 cost for them as well. Once I buy them out, the cost will go up to 20. So decent, but not as good as the Shadow Palace, because again, Shadow Palace had more. It just had more. At 50 weekly, 50 monthly for the gold ones. This one is only 30 monthly, realistically, and it had 30 blue ones, but on weekly basis, not monthly basis. So this is a big reduction. Like, this does not compensate for the loss of binaries in Shadow Palace shop at all. Plus, this is harder to get. Like, Shadow Palace was way easier to get. So employee growth, I'll be honest, none of this is valuable. All of this is just way too fucking expensive. Like, no one is buying this for 30. One fusion core fragment for 30? Actually, I think it's increased price. It might have been cheaper now that I think about it, but still, you could buy the cheapest one, maybe. That's it. Fusion core might have been also cheaper than 20, but it's only one fusion core, so it's like whatever. You can buy them. It's very small, but yeah, you can buy them. Rest is garbage. Wouldn't buy them. Here, none of this is even remotely appealing. I don't know. Those prices are ridiculous. 40 currency for one ship material? Like, what? You're telling me for a clear for a month I can buy about, like, what, 15 of them? Like 15 of one material? That's it? For a 1 month? Nah. This is horrible. This is probably the worst shop I've ever seen. And this one is also fucking horrendous. Like, 60 currency for 1000 info? Okay. I don't know who would buy this ever. This, sure, 5 costs for 50. If you really need them, sure, I could see it. Here, sure, maybe. 5 for 2, maybe. Eternium, if you're bored and you literally don't want to buy anything in here, I suppose you could buy Eternium. It's horrible still because it's only 1500, but sure, you can buy it. Overall, I just think the whole shop, the prices are way too expensive. Like, you need to reduce them by a ridiculous amount. Like, this is horrible prices. They're horrible. Even if you reduce them by half here, I don't think I would buy any of this, even as a new player. Here, same. Like, this would need to be like, I don't know, 10 currency each for me to be appealing. Like 10 currency for material, for ship material, yeah, then maybe I would buy it. 40, no fucking shot, dude. So, I don't know. Like, overall, the shop is better because it offers more things to buy other than gear that you've already probably bought, like the important pieces. So, it's nice to have alternatives, but the alternatives are very limited, to be honest. So, again, could be better, but it's definitely a step in the right direction here. So, okay, next thing. Side stories, guys, side stories. Slab stream, here we go. So, I did not notice it before, but the price of the side stories actually increased, and by a lot, too. Up to over 2 times the cost. So, this side story, this specific one, costed 210 energy, if I remember correctly. It was 210 or 230. I'm pretty sure it was 210 though. 210 cost for 1 clear. Now you're paying 500 for 1 clear. Why? Who fucking knows, dude? Probably because shop exists and they had to increase it, I suppose. But why? It's ridiculous. Sure, it gets more even later down you go on the stages. I think it evens out on let's see. I think it evens out. Actually, I'm not sure where it evens out. I think it evens out here on Crossroads. I think here you still pay more, slightly more, but after that I think you pay the same, which is 650 for every single stage since. Yeah, 650. So on the old one I think you paid 650 also for those stages, but for this and all the hard stages prior to that you paid way less, or proportionally less, I guess, because again, the most extreme example is the very first hard mode, where you pay over double. It gets less and less later you go, but still, all of those hard stages were cheaper before. Right here where you look, all those stages were cheaper, now they're more expensive. Why? Who fucking knows? Because reasons. Because that's fun to pay more for them, I guess. So, I don't know, like overall I just feel like even if we paid for them 650 for the later ones, I still think it's too expensive. Like, it's I don't know, I think it's way too expensive. It shouldn't be almost 2000 Eternium to clear the daily limit for 1 side story. I don't know about you guys, but I've been trying to clear all the stages that have good shops in them, and it was just not working. It was not working. I was like, I didn't have enough stamina to do anything in the game, so I just cut it to literally like few important stages. Those 5. Those 5 are the only ones I'm doing right now. Before I was doing probably like over 10, but now I'm only doing 5 because it was way too hard on my stamina. There was just no way I could clear them. So I don't know, like, to me they need to reduce the prices here so people can actually clear those stages on daily basis and still be able to do something in the game. Or you just don't farm those stages at all and you just ignore them, I suppose. But I don't know, they just should decrease prices. That's all I'm gonna say. Right, on to the next thing. Relic Stages. So, dimension trimming. Relic Stages don't exist anymore on their own. Instead, they've been brought here into dimension trimming, which I thought was a great idea until I've seen how the dimension trimming actually works, and now I don't like it as much. The reason being is, first of all, it's more expensive. At least on the first level, by 10 Eternium, it was 640 before. Now you're paying 650, And now you have to fight all 3 bosses, or all 3 relic stages at the same time. Meaning, you have to have ships, operators, gears, sets of gears, and units for all 3 of them. And you have to have decent CP at the same time, so you don't get hit by the penalty of in stats. So, and the mechanics are still the same from what I heard. So, cool, very cool. I don't know what they were thinking with this. This needs to change. Like, I don't know. I maybe it worked on this, and it was fun for people, where you had to do 3 bosses and you got this new exciting gear. Sure, this is garbage, dude. We're doing the same content, but it's way fucking harder, and we're getting less shit for it. I don't appreciate this. This is a slap in the face. I hate this. The fact that it's here. They should just go back to the old system. Make it only 1 boss at a time. Decide which one you want to do, and just fucking give the currency. Like, I think the universal currency is a great idea. Just not when you have to do all 3 of them. Like, for new players, you could probably get together 1 team for a specific type of gear and be fine. Now, I don't know. I don't see new players being able to do this shit anytime soon, where you have to interact with all 3 stages at the same time. I don't see it. I don't see it. So, I don't know. Bad change. Alright, so next thing is actually let me talk about Shadow Palace before we go out of this place. Shadow Palace is also worse now, because you have to do all 3 stages at the same time. Surprise, surprise. Horrible change. Shadow Palace is probably the worst change, and one of the things that people were complaining the most, I feel like. Because first of all, you need to buy or pay Eternium for it. That's horrible. This shit was free before. So cool. Now we're paying for it. So, and you're paying for it exact amount, 650 as relic content, which is why? Like, relic gear is way better than this shit, so why am I paying the same amount of Eternium? But I digress. So another change here is that you have no drop of gear. You only drop modules, which is also the same for relic stages. There's no gear. Before you could drop gear. Now you cannot drop gear. You only drop enhanced modules, which you also dropped in Shadow Palace. So not only you drop the modules, but you also drop the gear. Now you don't have the gear at all. You also were getting free credits. Now you have to pay for them. You also were getting enhancement modules, and that stayed, so that's cool. You are also getting unit experience and gear materials, but for free. You don't get them anymore. You don't get the gear materials, as you see, and you don't get unit experience at all either. This content will be heavily revised, apparently on March 13th, but I will see. We'll see if it's going to be worse or not. I am just not holding my breath. Like, so far, the changes and stuff, they don't have a good track record with this update, so I'll believe it when I see it, basically. Now, event stages are not dropping gear anymore. So current event is this, the sound calling tracks. And the stage you're doing is this one for free. 620 currency or Ethereum. I'm not sure if that's a good cost. I don't know how that compares to other side story or event stages in the past. But the worst thing about it is you don't drop gear anymore. There's no gear here. And I don't know if that's going to be the case for all of the event stages, but at least for now, that seems to be the case. There's no gear, and the shop we're getting is the traditional side story shop. I don't know if that's, again, I don't know if that's going to stay, but it's how it is right now. So I don't really like it that much, to be honest. I would like to receive gear, and I'm not sure about the cost, but if it's more, then it definitely should be reduced to. So yeah, that's what I think about that. All right, on to the big things. Dive. Everyone loves dives, right? No. I assume most people fucking hate dives right now. I cleared them. I cleared all 50 of them. I cleared them with the rest of day 1 dive 50 gamers. Actually, I cleared the day after because I failed 2 dives. I failed dive 37, 8 or something. No, before that. Somewhere here, 31, 32, 33. One of those I failed because I was still on auto and I realized I cannot auto those at all. And then I failed one, I think 47 or 48. I failed them, and so I was behind enough where I needed one more day. But I cleared dive 50 on first try without even artifacts, so that was nice. I just did my standard Esterosa Cheese team with 4 members, so okay. Now dives worked the way they worked this way. So every 3 months you were getting rewards, right? And now you only have one-time rewards on all of them, right? You clear them once and you've never cleared them again. There's no reset anymore, which I like. There's no more reset. I like that part. What I don't like is the fact that you're getting the one-time rewards, and for the rest of time the only thing you're getting is this. You get 2 entry tickets every day, and you can do this, and you get 2000 stamina and 190 imaginary cores. That's all you're getting for the time being, for the rest of times. I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it. I will leave you link to rewards on the old dive, so what you were getting every 3 months, and you can compare that to what you're getting now, which, since it's 3 months, I multiplied it by 90 days. So overall you're getting 180,000 Eternium during the period of 90 days, and you're getting 17.1 thousand imaginary cores, which equates to 114 blue binaries. So that's what you're getting every 90 days, meaning every old reset on the dive, right? Those are your rewards. You can compare them. I think I like the old rewards more, because you were getting a lot of different things like ship materials, you were getting more binaries, you were getting you know, the imaginary cores. Like I don't know, it just felt better with the old rewards. The only like difference here is you're getting Eternium now, which I think even Eternium wise you're getting less. I think maybe not, but still you can compare and decide if you like it more or not. But I just feel like rewards need to be bigger for dive. Also, I don't know why you're not getting bullets for dive 50. You should be getting bullets, since from dive 46 onwards you should be receiving bullets here as well on mining. So I don't know why you're not getting them. That's stupid. And in terms of content here, for new players, honestly, good luck. On depth 4, so from dive 26 to dive 35, you will have a exquisite mechanics that are very fun to interact with, such as inhibitor that does 200% extra damage and damage reduction versus counters, but takes more damage from mechs, or alter that stuns strikers permanently, also rangers if it's a boss node, or alt fear that stuns strikers and supports. Now all those stuns are permanent, and when I say permanent, I mean permanent. Like, your units will not move at all. They will just keep constantly getting stunned. So, very cool mechanic. That basically disables you from using strikers, supports, rangers, which are pretty much 3 most popular unit types. I guess you can subtract supports from that list, but still, great design, guys. I'm very glad. Also very nice to have one of the stages, or one of the nodes, make it unable for you to use counters pretty much. That's also fun, like the most common type of units, and you cannot use them there. Maybe you can brute force with good gear, but yeah, that's about it. So very fun for new players. I've been interacting with it, and unless you craft specific teams and you play on manual, yeah, this shit gonna be rough, like very rough. And even on not manual, I guess if you have units, that's fine. Like, you can probably handle it, but horrible design. I don't know who thought this is a good idea. I was dreading that this shit will stay, but Depth 5 actually is easier. All those Depth 5 stages are actually easier than Depth 4 stages, in my opinion, because here you don't have to worry about those dumb mechanics of permanent stuns. You can actually use your counter units. Most likely you'll have a lot of counter units built. You can use them and have no problems. Even better, one of the nodes, I think, takes more damage from counters, so you're actually getting rewarded for using counters on top of it. So again, Depth 5, way easier. So as for later ones, I think 45 was a boss fight. I saw people brute forcing it, so I don't think it should be too bad, but I think the only thing you need to be aware of is having enough hits, so you stun the boss and it doesn't do his attack. But even then, I don't know, I didn't have problems with it, but obviously I'm end game player, so hard for me to compare. I'll be doing this stage soon on my Korean account where I'm relatively fresh, so we'll see how it goes, but I can't imagine this being that big of a problem. The problem definitely begins after that. 46, 47, 48, 49 and 50. All those stages are extremely hard. The bosses are just more difficult, basically. They're the same as previous dives, but they're just more difficult because of the higher levels. Dive 50 especially, if you don't have Awakened Jake or the cheese strategy with enough DPS, then yeah, I don't think it's possible to do this. With A-Jake, you need to have actually good gear in order to survive, and good support, and also good DPSs, so it's not like you have the unit and you automatically win. No, you actually still have to have good comp and good units, and good gear, on top of it, so you know, it's going to be very hard. And for cheese strategy, it's kind of similar to what it was before, but now you just have less time to clear it. I think you need to clear it in 166 seconds, otherwise the ship degen, which is another great fucking mechanic in this content. Why the fuck they added that shit, I don't know. But yeah, you need to clear the boss in 166 seconds, otherwise your ship just kills itself with the degen. So yeah, that's pretty much it for dive. The only thing I like about this is the fact that once you clear the dive, you're out. You never interact with this shit again. But all the mechanics are fucking horrible. Artifacts are horrible. A lot of them carry negative effects. You rarely want to take any of them, actually, because they just debuff you. So, cool. Artifacts that are just garbage and feel horrible to pick them up, most of them at least. The degen mechanic where you have to actually swap ships constantly. Now you have to have 4 teams built, because otherwise, yeah, your ship just going to blow up. At least they reduce the amount of nodes, but still, it's hard for me to praise them for bringing back the sweep function and for reducing the amount of nodes you do, because we had those before updates. So, you know, am I really gonna praise them for fucking it up, taking those things away and then giving them back as a solution? Like, I don't know. That to me, I just don't like the dive. I like the idea of it, but the execution is so fucking poor here that I don't know what the fuck went through their mind. Like, this content is so fucked. So I can understand if you don't want to interact with it, honestly. It wouldn't surprise me. Because I was molding over this shit as well, so whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm moving on from dive. Fucking horrible shit. Hopefully they change it. One of the main points for people that were complaining about this update, so makes sense to me why. Another change. No more free experience for units. Amazing change. I don't know why no one thought of it, to just remove experience for units. Amazing fucking move. But no. To be complete real with you, this shit is horrible. Like, why would you remove free experience? I don't understand what was the problem with free experience for the units. Free experience, I mean, when you choose specific teams. So when you went to your missions, right? Let's say you wanted to go and do this, right? Well, actually, this is probably about this, right? You could choose your team. I would have a level up team, right? As probably most of you had. 8 units you just choose that are not max level, and you just sweep with them, right? You just sweep with them, you get the experience, and over time they would level up to max, right? It wouldn't be immediate, it would take some time, but eventually you would get them to max level. Why remove it? Especially for new players, this is horrible move. So, like, credits are hard to come by, especially for new players, and you cannot work on multiple units anymore, not for free anyway. Now you have to dump all of your experience and credits into one unit, and that's few million gold credits for one unit. Like, to level up all 8 units, now it costs you like what, 7-8 million per unit, and that times 8, like 64 million for 8 units. No, it's horrible. Bring back the free experience option back, please. Like, especially for units that are just, you know, garbage, right? Like, units you probably never will use. It was nice to level up, like, all of those. Rhino, you know, recoilless gunner, Bomby, Stinger Gunner, even those Replacer, Bishop, Knight. All of those units wouldn't be level 100 if not for free experience, and now you can do it. So, and you can see I was leveling up Amy, for example, I was leveling up Ironside. None of those are gonna get experience from me, because now I have to pay for it. And I'm not fucking paying for it. No shot. So, horrible change. Another horrible change. So very cool. And since we're already here, I might as well talk about the elephant in the room, which is the dupe system. I don't know how I feel about dupe system. I mean, I know that it's definitely a step in the wrong direction. That's for sure. Because it introduces the pay-to-win element to the game. Because before, you could just be completely fine and have the maximum power on the unit with just pulling one copy of them, which was the beauty of this game. Like, that was one of the reasons I stuck with this game for so long, because you could just play as free-to-play player and have only one dupe of the unit and then be able to just max it out. No problem. You don't have to fucking pay money for it. You don't have to save up for a year to be able to do that. No, you just pull unit and that's it. If you want to invest your fusion cores, you do that and you're done. Now, not a thing anymore. And sure, they can say all they want that, oh, those don't matter because we will not be making content with dupes in mind. Sure, but you cannot deny their existence. Like, they're in the game. So, like, just think about it for a second. If you will see a guide on later PvE contents, right? You will see a guide, and the guide will show you a team comp. And then you will see that the guide has, on important units, it has dupes. Maybe even max them out. Everyone, or at least decent amount of players, will immediately jump on it, especially the ones that copied the team and it didn't work for them. They will blame it on the fact that they don't have dupes. They will like, oh, you need the maxed out, you know, Shaolin for this to work. I don't have max dupe Shaolin, so I guess I can't do the content. And they will just give up. I know it might not be the case. Like, maybe you probably don't need it and you can still clear it without dupes. But the perception for people will be that you have to have it in order to clear. That's just how people work. So just because it exists already will introduce people complaining that they can't do it because they don't have dupes. It's just that simple. That's what will happen. It's that simple. That's what will happen. And then you also have contents that introduce, you know, like the dimension trimming, where you can go almost infinite. Well, not infinite, but still. You can clear multiple layers, right, of the content, and you need CP. Now, I don't know if dupes increase CP, but wouldn't surprise me if they do, since they give stats. So, like, you say that, but then you have content that requires you to have CP. And I'm pretty sure this should give CP, most likely. If it doesn't, then sure. But then we can look into other direction. Danger close. Where clearing matters. Like fast clearing. You have 8 units. If on all 8 units I have a dupe that gives me 6 more damage to the boss, you think it will matter on my clear time in danger close? Oh yeah, for sure it will fucking matter. So again, like, on one side you say we won't be making content with this in mind, but you cannot deny that it's in the fucking game, its existence, and its effects on it. Like, it already affects it by a large amount. Like, you already have raids that probably don't work if you don't have dupes. You already have fucking danger close, where time matters, and if you don't have dupes, yeah, your time is... You will never be able to compete in danger close without dupes. No shot. And then you have PvP. And PvP, I don't care about PvP much. But from what I heard, it's a fucking mess right now. Because not only you have those dupes, but... which is pay to win, again. But you're fighting units that you never had access to. Like Japan exclusive collab units. And unreleased units that Japan has, but global doesn't. Why? I don't know. Because it's fun, I guess. Like, I just... I don't know. Like, I'm glad I don't care about PvP, but it would probably irritate me as well if I had to climb, and that's the content I enjoy, and then I face units that I never had access to, especially if some of them were broken or very good. It's like, cool, I just auto lose because my server is behind. Very fun, very fun. So again, the dupe system, wrong direction. Just wrong direction. The only thing I can say positive about it is that as a veteran player or endgame player, it's kind of cool to have something that I can work towards, because before, you know, again, it was the upside and also downside of it, that you only needed one dupe and you're done. Now, if I see a rerun of Rosaria banner, for example, or rerun of, I don't know, Shaolin banner or this banner, like now I'm thinking about, hey, maybe I should pull some dupes to make that character stronger. So that's like the only positive angle I can see. Now you have something to work towards as an end game player, especially with those banners for events when they give you free pulls every day. If you pull a random copy of a unit, well, now suddenly you have something to use it on, not just scrap it for unit data, right? So, you know, that's nice, but the whole system just reeks of pay to win, because of the PvP and PvE as well. Like, I don't care what you say, PvE is definitely affected by this shit, and devs can reassure you as many times as they want. It doesn't change the fact that it's negative for the game. It's that simple. So, also, I wanted to just mention that Awaken units, in my opinion, just shouldn't have that system at all. You will struggle to pull on all Awaken units as a free-to-play, regardless. Pulling dupes for Awaken units, if you're not spending any money on the game, is a fucking no shot. You will not be able to pull dupes as a free-to-play. There's no shot. So, you know, my solution for this is either just don't have tactical at all for those units, or make it so you can use base form of the unit as a dupe, right? So, for example, for Awaken Suyon, just make it so you can use Suyon and dupe it up. I think then it would be fine. It would be similar to E7 if you've played, because in E7 you can use dupes to give them imprints. So I think then it would be fine. Also, it would be nice if you could still use the dupes to increase the max level and increase the tactical update at the same time. So what I mean by it is, let's say I had 3 Suyon dupes, right? Well, and she was level 108 max, right? So I use those 3 dupes, and now she is 110, but also she gets free imprints or free tactical updates because I used 3 of her dupes. It would be exactly the same way again as E7 with the growth of characters. When you go from 5-star to 6 stars, and you would use dupes of those of that character as your material to increase it to 6-star, right? You can use dogs that are universal, or you could increase the dupe, or you can use the dupes of this character, and it will give you imprints at the same time, increasing to 6-star. So this could be similar, where you could feed the free dupes, you would give the tactical update, and you would increase max levels, and then you don't have to worry about the explanation of, oh, we don't want new people to put the dupes in and then just, you know, regret it. No, just make it so those dupes are only usable for going from 100 to 110, and make it so if you're using a dupe for that, you're getting your imprint as well, your tactical update. Easy solution. So Don't tell me it's not possible or that it's for new players, because it's fucking bullshit, is what it is. There's a way to do this system better for sure, so. Alright, well, in all together, it's a very contradicting approach to me. They are trying to lure in new players with some juicy rewards with the new Origin update, and yet a lot of changes that they're making are very hard for new players to play the game. It is slow to progress, and it's hard to progress. Credits are needed for everything, and it seems to not be enough, especially for leveling units. You don't have enough to invest into multiple units at the same time. Before, you had an option to park those few units on free overtime experience, but now you just simply don't have the gold. So I don't know. You would have to have decent amount of units to work on too, because all the freebies you received, right, with the update and new player missions and all of that, you would have a lot of units to work on. So like this all of those changes are horrible to keep up with all the units you received. Dives are harder also to do, and they require more units and specific units too on top. Again, you don't get free things from doing Shadow Palace, for example, which was the entry gear for new players. One of the missions also needs you to clear dive 45, and that's the mission I'm stuck on Korea. So good luck to new players on that. Also good luck with the missions that require you to increase your gear, because you're getting less gear enhancing materials now. So that's going to be harder to do as well. You have no challenge gear anymore. You instead have the bullet shop, which again, challenge gear, even though over time you could buy pieces, but bullet 1 requires you to clear dive 50, which you're not doing anytime soon as a new player. It will take months before you can clear it. So cool. Relic, Shadow Palace are both harder now, because you need free ships, you need free teams, you need free operators, and you need 3 sets of gear and have decent CP. And also you're interacting with original mechanics of them. So again, very messy and stupid direction devs took with this one. Like, update overall just felt very rushed and heavily unpolished. And I don't know if it's me, but it seemed like no one fucking tested any of those newly added things. So, in conclusion, all of us spend more Eternium for less rewards, we get less gear experience, we get no free unit experience, we spend more credits, we get less Eternium free rewards, PvE content is harder without increasing rewards, and the game took a step towards pay to win. I'm not saying everything they did was negative, because I believe there are a lot of good ideas there, but most of them are just unpolished right now, and they're very poorly executed. So I needed to rant about this. I hope the changes are coming, because they need to come. Like, the game is not doing well. It's bleeding out the old players, and it's very unwelcoming to new players right now. So if this stays, this game will be dying over time. That's what I feel like. So I'm hoping they do those changes and they bring this game back to its glory. So that's it for me. If you watch this rant, then well, thank you very much. I'm sure this is long video by now, but I needed to get this shit off my chest. And again, I'll be covering this game. I like it too much to give up on it, and I've invested into this account a lot of my time and work, so I'm still enjoying the game. It just irritates me when devs are fucking it up with their dumb decisions. Like, we've had a good thing going on, and then they reduced most of it to ashes for no reason. So again, I hope they rethink and bring things back or make them way better than they are right now. But well, until the next video, guys, take care. Peace.